Drivin Ivan here, and gas is $5 a gallon. Behind me are some of my cars, some of which guzzle gas, some of which don't, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. What does a sports car enthusiast do with $5 a gallon gas? Well, let's talk about it some, shall we? Drivin Ivan actually loves the Prius. Now that might surprise some of you, what with my cool car collection here, this V8 Ferrari engine Maserati Spider, and this lovely, although it could use a bath, I admit, Porsche Boxster 986 that I just gave a new look to, actually. These headlights. Yeah. And of course, my Lotus Esprit Turbo here. Like I said, very cool car. But, you know, on a day like this, certainly I'm going to take the Boxster or the Maserati Spider or my 996. But, you know, not every drive is one that needs to be enjoyed through twisty mountain roads and at top speed in a premium guzzling V8 car when gas is almost $5 a gallon on average, about $4.40 to $4.60, I believe, right now. So, most of the time, I drive my Prius because it gets over 40 miles per gallon no matter how you drive it. This one happens to be self-driving also, adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist, so it's super, super safe. Top of the line Prius, and also it has what all Priuses have, the ability to carry lots of stuff all the time. So I can keep a bike in it. I love my SE bikes, SE racing collection. You can see some of that in my Free Your Mind video, along with my musical instrument collection if you're into that sort of thing. That's an original song. Also check out my literal video for Chris Isaac's Wicked Game. That's pretty funny. I also recently did a video on how to fly out and drop into a skate park. Check that video out if you're into that sort of thing too. But at any rate, the Prius is an amazing car. I've got a video out there that asks, is the Prius the best car in the world? You can check that video out elsewhere on YouTube on my channel. And you'll see that I actually do think, yes, as a car, the Prius is the best car in the world. I've been driving a Prius since 2009. That's right, 13 years so far of saving the planet, even though I am a sports car enthusiast with lots and lots of cars. I just think that as someone who is a realtor and as someone who actually does care about the environment and that sort of thing, I think that I'm doing my part, and I've gotten 40 miles per gallon for probably 95% of the miles I've driven, maybe even more, in the last 13 years. Now, there are some people who are saying, oh, yeah, but you're still using gas. Well, you know what? Teslas use a lot of gas in their production, and the batteries, well, they're an environmental hazard too. And as someone who really does like electric cars, I actually tested an early Tesla, the 2.5 Roadster, and that was just thrilling to drive based on the Lotus Elise, and an amazing car, amazing technology, but still not ready for prime time in my opinion. Electric cars are great, but the average price is about $51,000. Yes, I just looked that up, so that's accurate. That's about $10,000 more than the average price of a gas-powered car. But really, that's not the point, because I think with the infrastructure, we're just not there yet. I think we will be, maybe in 5 or 10 years, but even if we built out electric charging stations all across the country now, by the time 5-10 years rolls around and more people have these cars maybe, those systems are going to be antiquated. It is not time yet for electric cars. They are basically a toy for wealthy people or a tool for inner city people to use. But if you want to pick up and drive cross country or drive 1,000 miles, well, until you can stop for about 5 minutes and fill up and use the bathroom, get something to eat, and then keep moving, they're not ready for prime time. Every single electric car I've ever tested, and I've tested a lot of them, from Kia to the Cadillac ELR, that's a great car, Of course, that's like the Volt, but you can actually use gas and electric. I think that's a great solution. Cars like that, the Volt and the Cadillac ELR, and also, of course, Prius makes a plug-in hybrid that now gets, I think, about 30 miles. It used to get only like 11. Thought that was a little too little. But they are coming a long way. Yes, I will say that. But again, in terms of actually being able to use an electric car like you can a gas car, well, we're just not there, unfortunately. If you have a building filled with, let's say, 400 people in the city, and let's say 25% of those people, 100 people, have electric cars, where are they going to charge their cars at night? There's not 100 parking spaces equipped with fast electric charging stations or even slow electric charging stations. It's just not viable yet. So I think the best thing to do as a sports car enthusiast is to have a great car as a daily driver like the Prius. And hey, there's lots of cool cars out there that get pretty decent miles per gallon. My Boxster back there, that gets about 24 on the highway. I've gotten that recently, but still, it takes premium gas. So forget about 440 to 460 a gallon. You're up definitely over $5 a gallon getting premium gas for a car that only gets 18 to 24 miles per gallon at the most. And that's if you're not driving it too hard. So there you go. A classic car like my Lotus Esprit, only a 2.2 liter turbo. That gets about, probably about 20 miles per gallon on a good day. So that was extremely reliable and practical back in the day. But again, you don't want to be driving the Lotus Esprit every day. You don't want to be driving the Austin Healey Sprite or this Alpha GTV GTC every day. Sure, I love to drive them. I drive them through twisty roads and back pretty much a lot all the time, but I only put, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles on those at a time, and then I revert to driving my Prius when I need to get where I'm going. The Prius is a great car. Like, you drive on the track and go for the fastest lap time and things like that. Well, you can hypermile the Prius. And if you're hypermiling a Prius, you can try to get the most MPGs ever. Tell me what you've gotten if you have a Prius. I'd be curious to know. My best MPG total since I've owned that car is about 52 point something or other, low 52, 52.2. Let me know if you're doing better. You probably are, because when I go on long trips and things like that, I usually average at least 5 miles per hour over the speed limit just to be safe. Nothing crazy. And again, I do have the adaptive cruise control, so that guards my speed, makes sure I'm not going too fast. And I love that feature in the Prius. I love the fact that I can just throw anything in the world in it and still get well over 40 miles per gallon too. So again, I think the Prius is an incredible car. You always have people when you're in the Prius, and they'll come by you in their huge lifted trucks and just speed up as fast as they can and cut you off, or Shelby Mustang or some crazy Corvette or something. And again, I love all these cars. I have a Shelby pickup myself, Shelby Dakota convertible. Check it out. That's a great car, interesting car. But if you want a good collectible car nowadays, well, go for something like the Austin Healey Sprite. Go for a Miata. Great cars, pretty good fuel economy. Go for the GTI, the Golf. Great cars, great MPGs as well, so a good balance. There's a lot of fun cars out there. Hyundai makes great cars. Kia makes great cars. The Stinger, their whole new N series of cars. Hyundai, amazing cars. But if you're just not into driving a Prius, I know some people hate it. I get it. I'm just trying to defend it because I do love it. I keep a little die-cast Porsche right in front so I can stare at that while I'm driving my Prius, and longing to be driving my Porsche if I'm on a good road or something. But for the most part, I really do like the Prius. And again, you can hypermile it, try to get the most mileage out of it. And there are certain driving techniques you can use. And if you do that, it's just as fun as driving on the track. So they can be enjoyable, believe it or not. And quite honestly, as someone who drives on the track and knows how to drive, I can keep up with pretty much anything in the turns for the most part. And that frustrates people, especially if they're in fast cars. Because you can keep up with them in the turns if you know what you're doing. Because usually people in fast cars do not know what they're doing. They just have a fast car. As witnessed by that guy in the beautiful Gulf livery Ford GT that he recently wrecked. Didn't know how to drive a manual, he said. Ha, pretty funny. Anyway, so... Yes, I am definitely a sports car enthusiast. I love driving cars like these, which actually are not too bad in terms of fuel economy. But when it comes to my everyday driving, it is the Prius for me. And I'm proud of it. I think they're excellent pieces of engineering, just as much as my Maserati Spider here, and my Boxster, and my Lotus Esprit Turbo. Yes. So there you have it. Cool cars are definitely an excellent thing to have and own and enjoy. Something to aspire to if you don't have one. And in many cases, they're pretty practical, actually. Like this 2.2 liter turbo Lotus Esprit that could keep up with the 8-cylinder and 12-cylinder Ferraris and Porsches, 6-cylinder, of course, of the day. But there you have it. I drive my Prius most of the time. Gas is $5. And even when it isn't, you know, I'm getting twice the fuel economy of most cars. And if you factor in premium, I'm literally spending a third less when I drive the Prius. So I do that as much as I can in my regular world, and I enjoy cars like my Audi TT and my Porsche 911 SC, and yes, I do enjoy them. This is one of the finest driving cars in the world, I think. But do not poo-poo the Prius. It's still an excellent car. So, smash that like button if you already haven't. Subscribe to me on all of my channels. Inc. Video for music. Ivan Katz Productions for disc golf music and literal videos, documentaries, things like that. And, of course, Drivin Ivan Katz here on YouTube. Search Drivin Ivan in any car. And also on my Instagram, TikTok, The Real Drivin Ivan. Like I said, check out my video for how to fly in and drop in the skate park. If you'd like to figure out how to ride a bike in a skate park. But beware, it can be dangerous, especially if you're a Gen Xer. I like to try to stay young too. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it made you think a little bit. Be kind to Prius drivers. We're helping to save the world. And this one is helping to save the world, but still having a hell of a time driving up mountain roads too. Thanks for watching. I'm Drivin Ivan.